Legal liability and rabbinic responsibility become especially delicate as food technology accelerates, because the boundary between honest mistake and systemic negligence can narrow quickly when communities rely on sophisticated products whose status is not intuitively obvious. A more positive way to approach this complexity is to see it as an opportunity for halakhic leadership to build trust, clarity, and accountability structures that benefit everyone, from manufacturers to kosher consumers to local rabbis tasked with oversight. When a product is mislabeled or miscommunicated, there is certainly potential for halakhic violations, but Jewish law has long emphasized the shared commitment of all parties to prevent harm. Manufacturers carry the basic obligation of accurate labeling under Dina di Malchuta, civil law, but the halakhic system adds a layer of moral expectation, Geneva Diat, misleading others, and Lifnei Iver, causing another to stumble. Rather than viewing these standards as burdens, responsible companies often embrace them as guidelines for best practices. Clear labeling, open communication with kosher certifiers, and quick correction of errors are elements of a trustworthy brand, and food tech startups increasingly appreciate that transparency is a competitive advantage. The more new technologies emerge, the more these companies recognize that partnering with rabbinic authorities can help them avoid missteps and understand how religious consumers interpret their products. Rabbinic leaders, for their part, carry a unique responsibility not only to interpret halacha, but also to guide their communities with foresight. When a novel product resembles dairy, meat, or something prohibited, rabbis can create a local framework that encourages education rather than anxiety. Instead of waiting for mistakes to occur, they can host sessions explaining how to read labels, what symbols matter most, and how to adopt new foods responsibly. This proactive teaching reduces the risk of accidental misuse and empowers consumers. It also shifts the rabbinate's role from policing to mentoring, reinforcing a positive relationship between community and halakhic authority. If harm does occur, whether medical, halakhic, or practical, the question of liability often revolves around intent, transparency, and reasonable expectations. Halacha generally distinguishes between unintentional mistakes and negligent behavior. A rabbi who ruled based on reliable information is typically protected. His responsibility is to investigate to the best of his ability, consult experts when needed, and communicate rulings clearly. The emergence of biotech products actually strengthens this model because it encourages greater collaboration between rabbinic decisors, scientists, and kosher agencies. When rabbis have accurate technical information, their rulings become stronger and communities benefit from deeper clarity. From the communal perspective, building these structures of responsibility fosters confidence rather than fear. If communities know that rabbis and manufacturers maintain open lines of communication, that kosher agencies audit not only ingredients but also process integrity, and that labeling is reviewed with care, they are more likely to embrace beneficial innovations. This helps prevent confusion, strengthens communal observance, and encourages responsible adoption of new foods without compromising tradition. Ultimately, the positive takeaway is that halakhic responsibility and legal liability need not be adversarial. They can motivate a cooperative ecosystem where each stakeholder contributes to clarity, safety, and trust. Novel foods inevitably create new questions, but they also offer the chance to reaffirm long-standing Jewish values: honesty in commerce, protection of others from error, and the importance of communal education. In this way, even complex situations become pathways for stronger, more informed halakhic practice in a rapidly changing food landscape.